The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast, where we highlight top professionals making waves in the industry. I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and today we're thrilled to have a true Wiregrass local with us, Ben Jimmerson. Born and raised in the area, Ben has 9 years of service in the Alabama Army National Guard and a deep passion for helping fellow service members with PCS or TDY. With his extensive knowledge of the local scene, from dining to entertainment, and his top-notch negotiating skills, he's here to make your real estate journey smooth and cost-effective. So get ready to discover the southern charm of the Wiregrass with our expert guest. So welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
So first of all, to the listeners, would you like to share a little bit of your story? What was the inspiration behind you going into real estate, and how did you get started?
Well, I'll try to make a long story short, but it was back in, I think, around 2016. So I've, growing up working for different companies, for some reason, I've always been very analytical. So I would go to work somewhere and start right away analyzing the company, seeing if there was room to move up, or if there were issues like, the good old buddy system or, family members or whatever that would not necessarily be in the way, but, not really much room for growth. And I just never fit in anywhere. And so I just started doing a ton of research, on what's the most common thing among the most wealthiest people in the world. And it was always real estate, is what I came to find out. So I actually had a friend whose dad was in real estate, and at that time he was talking about doing real estate classes, and I was actually deploying overseas. So he held a real estate class, and he recorded it online live, so that way I could watch it while I was overseas deployed. And while I was on deployment, I actually started my real estate course online, finished it right before we came back, so that way I could take my state and national test and get started. And so I did that, a year later after we came back from deployment in 2017. And I did a ton of research while I was over there, deployed whenever I wasn't on a mission, to just find out all the issues of real estate, because I wanted to make sure that, I was doing the right things. And I knew that I wanted to make this my career after just not being happy in the corporate world. And so ever since 2017, started doing real estate. I knew that I wanted to get my broker's license and own my own brokerage, which I do now with a partner who's another realtor. And so, it's just been history ever since then, 7 years ago.
Exciting. How exciting. So what do you think then? So you're analytical, and your experience of being in the National Guard, how do you think that sort of influenced your approach to real estate?
Well, as far as the analytical side, I think it's really helped me because of data, looking at data, especially being able to run comps on homes. My favorite subject in school was always math. So I love numbers, and I just love being analytical and looking at data. So that's really helped me as far as getting really close on knowing what a home is worth. I always tell people I pride myself with being in, plus or minus $5,000 of what the home's actually worth. And a lot of times I've been pretty much head on with what the appraisal comes in at. So, I'm not losing people a ton of money by not knowing what I'm doing there. But as far as, the actual military side of things, obviously it taught me a lot of skills, one leadership for in the position that I'm in now, but also, just putting your head down and putting the work in and seeing the results later. There's probably a lot of other skills that the military has taught me as well that has helped me in this career. Obviously it helps me to connect with, like you said earlier, other military members. I help a lot of military members, so that's mainly a lot of my business is whether active duty or veterans. And I'm also involved with some veteran organizations. So I was just helping a veteran this weekend.
Brilliant. And I suppose that must be quite rewarding, I would have thought, from you on a personal level.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's
So,
it. I was just going to say it's definitely rewarding. In the military, there's a saying, "I've got your six." So, I've definitely got their six out here in the personal, private world, especially. Anybody that knows, being in the military, if that's your life full time for 20 years or longer, getting out, it's hard to negotiate this world getting out, and it's good to have somebody that actually cares about you and is not trying to take advantage of you because they were in as well.
yeah, totally. Well, you have that understanding, right? That's going to go a long, long way. So, with your business, so now you've got your own brokerage, what would you say is your preferred lead generation process and why?
It's always been social media and mainly Facebook. That's one of my big things that over the past 7 years. I've just been learning marketing. I would say, I'm pretty intermediate to advanced in that area. I've learned that out of all the social media channels, I mean, LinkedIn, TikTok, all the other Instagram, all the other social media channels, you can definitely generate leads with, but I think Facebook is the best one. And just there's more people that are eligible and able to buy homes on Facebook, and just the way Facebook is set up, the leads just run a lot better on there. The cost per lead can be a lot cheaper depending on how you set it up, but it's a pretty simple process. I have a website through KV Core, and I'll go and create what they call a squeeze page, which is essentially a landing page where I've created a custom search, just like if somebody were to go on Zillow or Realtor.com and create a custom search for themselves. But I go ahead and create it. Let's just say like new construction homes in the Wiregrass. So I'll go in there and create that, and then I'll go make a Facebook post and then start running it as an ad. And I've done, uh, land in the Wiregrass, luxury homes in the Wiregrass, homes with pools in the Wiregrass, you name it, just simple squeeze pages like that. And they've always been pretty successful running those. And I haven't found any other lead source that's cheaper than that also gets you the best return on investment, such as my new construction homes post. I think I may have spent $100 and just closed on one new construction deal. And that was like, an $8,000 commission. And then you've got another one where I will listed their house, and as soon as they sell, I'm going to help one of them buy. So
Brilliant. And do you think a lot of realtors, not just in your area, but across the states, are not doing this, are not looking at running paid Facebook ads but it can be so specific to such a specific targeted audience? Why do you think people are, I don't know, fearful about going down that route?
Oh, well, that's a rabbit hole in itself. A lot of them are not doing it because like you said, they're fearful. They don't know how to do it, and you can definitely lose some money doing it if you don't know what you're doing. But it's actually really simple. There's only like a few tweaks that you need to make sure that it's going to get your best return on investment. But the industry has kind of just shoved paying for the big name websites to get leads from. And most agents are doing that, and you can lose a lot of money on that too. But it's probably just the fear, of the unknown, not knowing how to do it. But to me, it's so crazy to not learn that because it's so simple and truly is. I'm not just being biased. I've done it. I've paid other lead generation sources, and Facebook is the best by far, as cheapest and highest return on investment.
And I would have thought it saves you a lot of time. Would that be true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, it's not just about running ads. Mindset is a massive thing. Like we've just said, I think a lot of realtors are slightly fearful of using different lead generation process. So for you, why would you say mindset is, so important? And do you think that other realtors really, truly understand what it actually takes to be successful?
No, I'm glad you said that. That's great. I love something that I'm very big on is the mindset, because it's everything, right? If you don't have your mind right, you're not going to be able to make it. I mean, there's all kind of stats out there, but I think it's somewhere around like 85% of realtors, don't make it in their first year, and it stays that way for the second year. And if you're able to make it 5 years, then you're going to make it in this industry. But a lot of agents come in and they've got the HGTV mindset of thinking that this is easy, and not realizing that this is a business. You are truly a business owner. Even though your license is hung with a brokerage somewhere, you're a 1099 independent contractor, and you are a business owner who's going to have to wear all the hats to get your business going. And so I think the reason why a lot of them don't understand is there's not enough real education out there to truly tell them, to be honest with them, what this is. And that's what I try to do with people that are thinking about coming into real estate, is I just shoot it to them straight. I'm very clear and thorough. Hey, you're going to be a small business owner when you come into this, and it's not easy. And then the biggest thing is, a lot of agents don't realize it takes time. I think they say the average agent doesn't see a check until like 6 months into the industry. Now, I've seen other agents come in, and just because of their personality and character and their sphere of influence, they're closing one the first month in, and every month after that. But that's not everybody, because I know it took me 6 months, honestly, before I got a check. So.
But the whole thing's a learning curve. And I think this seems to be the problem with not just the real estate business, but businesses where you've got to learn a trade. They focus so much on the learning the trade of being a realtor, but they forget that you need business building skills too to make it work, right? But what do you think made you dive into running actual paid Facebook ads? Because I don't know why more people aren't doing it.
Like I said, I've just been studying marketing. I knew marketing was the thing, and it's always kind of been a passion of mine. So when I first got started into real estate, obviously you're not making a ton of money right away. So most people either have another job, whether part-time or full-time. And I was telling myself, okay, I got to find something that's also in sales, so that way I have the freedom and flexibility to do real estate when it pops up. And so I found a full-time job doing credit card processing, and it got me in with other business owners. And that was great, because who knows more people in the community other than business owners, and also who knows, who's the most known person in the community as business owners. And so I got to see the ins and outs of their business, and, see where the issues lied, which most of the time it's always marketing, because people that open up businesses usually know how to do the skill or the task, but there's so many hats to wear, and it's impossible to do it all by yourself. And marketing is definitely not one that most are good at. And if they're good at marketing, they may not be good at whatever the actual business is. But so I got to see a lot of the ins and outs, but it also doubled, and I was able to start helping business owners actually, buy and sell houses, or even move their businesses around, or open up, expand, whatever the case may be. But like I said, marketing is my thing. And the more I dove into it and looked into it, I found out, Facebook was where it was at. And there's a ton of training out there. That's the crazy thing, is there's a lot of free training on YouTube University, right? So you can learn whatever you want to out there.
Yeah. Well, it's paid off, right? So for you, what was your production like last year? So how did this help you last year?
So my production is a little bit different, obviously, because I'm a broker running a brokerage, and we're 2 years in. So I've been more so focusing on trying to grow the brokerage. But I think I did around 30 last year. And it's a little bit different looking for me because I'm at 100%. We have a 100% model at our brokerage. So, 30 compared to somebody's 60, it's kind of the same in
Hmm.
my eyes.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I wasn't able to do a lot of Facebook advertising in the past year, but I did some of that and actually taught it to our agents and agents across the country with inside of our franchise.
Ah, fantastic. So so for you, if that was 100%, so what would that equate to monetary wise?
It's over six figures.
There you go. So for the listeners out there, maybe you need to start looking at your lead generation processes and give it a go if that's gonna help your business. So what's next for Ben then? What are your goals for next year?
Just continue to grow the brokerage. Me and my partner want to expand and open up another office here in the area in another city. As we're open up in one city and we want to open up another. We also want to open up somewhere else as well that I can't say just right now. But we want to expand, open up more offices, and really truly the goal is to get the word out about our company and what we're able to offer because it's truly just a different fit. And I got my eyes opened to the 100% commission model probably
Mm.
like 4 years ago, and ever since, like once you get your eyes open to the 100% commission model, you just can't go back.
So what do you think separates you from the marketplace then?
Well, mostly, just leadership and culture, but also our model that we're able to offer with the 100% model, while also still being able to offer all the tech, the training, and the resources where you wouldn't think you'd be able to do that because you're like, how are you making money? Saying that you're giving the agent 100% of the commission, you would think that we weren't able to offer anything to them and it would fully be all on them, but that's not true. We actually have the tech, the tools, the training, and the resources that we still are able to offer them so that way they can still grow their business.
Brilliant. So you're really covering all bases. So for anybody out there, then maybe you should get in touch if you're looking to expand. So one last question, and it's a fun one because the icons of real estate, we are the number one real estate podcast network in the US, and we are really passionate about making podcasting accessible to all realtors. So imagine if you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
That's a tough one. I've actually thought about that before because I've wanted to get into podcasting. Uh, I've got two names that come to mind, and they're kind of different. So, like I mentioned, I help business owners to begin with, so I'm pretty passionate about that. Small business owners, I want to see them be successful and grow because we are all small business owners as well. So one of them would be probably like Business Success Podcast, where I interview successful business owners and what they did to become successful, to kind of give a cheat code to other people who are starting businesses or that already have them and feel like they're lost. And then the other one would be more on the real estate side, and we just got an agent in our office who's a helicopter pilot because that's where we're at. We're like in the mecca of helicopter world of Army aviation, and so he came up with this, but I love it. We would call it Homes and Helicopters, and kind of be around helicopters in the background. But also talking about real estate and do like monthly tours, helicopter tours of the local area.
Ooh. Oh, love that. But now that is different. I haven't heard that one. So fantastic. So, well, to the listeners, what should they do next? Because you're really sort of there doing a few things. So if people are looking to buy a home, maybe get in touch, but also because you're expanding, if there was anybody, how do they reach you?
Well, you can always reach me on social media. If you Google Ben Jimmerson, I promise you you're gonna find me. I'm gonna pop up on there in several ways. So you can definitely reach out to me on there, or you can call or text me at 334-672-3045.
Fantastic. And if you're listening, all Ben's details will be in the show notes. So come back and look at that. So Ben, thank you for your time today. This has been a slightly different conversation. I love what you're doing. And to the listeners, well, we'll be back next time with the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Bye for now.